whatever gets sent back on itself if you protect yourself. Purity and purity combined with discretion, which is silence and stillness, and objectivity, which is without personal sense, the subjective sense of personal sense. It reverses because it cannot find anything to link itself to in your thought. You've completely discarded anything. So either it gets dashed upon the rocks of your pure sense, of your Christ sense, of your actual being, boys and girls, or it gets sent back running, or it gets sent back discouraged, confounded, and it gets sent back. When it gets sent back, sometimes people get sick. Willful minds get sick. If they're adept, they won't get sick, but the people who they think about will, because that's what they do to you. So it will get sent back to them. It affects them negatively. Then any poverty, any illness, anything any stupidity or a sense of lack of self-worth that they've been projecting on you in your teenage years gets reversed. And if they're adept at knowing the reversal, it will deflect and hit on their failures. It will never hit yours, because anyone you care about is protected by your love and consideration of them in your own personal thought. Someone told us like a ping pong match. It is like a ping pong match. It's the ball going back and forth, and the entity of evil, the energy, the radiation, the electromagnetic radiation, the radioactive radiation of mortal mind, of evil, of mammon, as its true state gets reversed and sent directly back to itself, and it will bounce off whatever minds it is ever cared for. And you keep this up through discretion. You will be lied to about it. I cannot vouch for the power of discretion. It is invaluable, absolutely invaluable. Absolutely invaluable. Absolutely invaluable. You will not repeat yourself because God is working with you. So you wouldn't put a block there, because if everything, as we're being taught in this strange new age, if everything is taught, you wouldn't put something back into your thought that you didn't want in there in the first place. So you don't make a mention of it. So you don't put the block, the creature, the particle, the square, the box, I think. of any suggestion of anything that was unlike your perfect original state of being in the first place. Your Christ thought isn't even separate. It's not something that you have to earn any more than it's something that has never been separate from you. This is true. This is very true. It's not different from you. You're not different from it, because you are made in the image and likeness of God. So therefore, Christ is your perfect state of being. Christ, once again, don't get it confused by what the losing Confederacy has done its damnedest to do, to condemn you by confusing you, by materializing Jesus and making him an idol of some sort, as they've done in fundamentalism, misconstruing the beautiful message of the first part of the Bible in Genesis, the second story of Adam and Eve, which is a beautiful allegory. And it needs to be understood that it is a beautiful allegory. They went out of their way they are the devil, and they have went out of their way to misconstrue that. It is a gorgeous, wonderful allegory, and I would refer to it because knowing how old it is, you can listen to just this one crazy. Listen to this guy. Listen to this guy talking. This guy talking. Try to help you read that part. Know it's an allegory, and know that thinking is valuable, and there is no worldly knowledge that's cherishable or important. The only valuable thing are the things that are transmitted by divine mind. It's not transmitted on any bandwidth that mortal mind has made known to man. If it's even something that can be picked up by some kind of frequency, but most certainly air can be. Here's a fun fact for you teenagers willing to go out and to practice purity and absence because of what it does for your body, how it flips the score on error, how it reverses every bad thing that's happened, from bullies to teachers to parents to friends to young and old and so forth. What it literally is doing is like what a tinfoil hat would do. It doesn't stop people from reading your mind. And I should make a mention about this. It doesn't stop people from reading your mind. It stops the effects of influence. It reduces the effects of influence Of course, you've put on you've built another house using you went and walked over to build another house. Would you put you've created another influence altogether? You've created something else. You've created something else. You're not. The Christ is not something you're creating so much as you're walking right back into your old being, to your original being, your old being from when you were conceived as a concept in God's thought to as you continue to grow in God's mind. You're not putting in anything that you wouldn't want to put in an old influence. You want to keep out those. So of course naturally the Christ reduces influence. The more Christ you augment, it grows. It's your age. It's your identity. So of course it is your age. It's your spiritual age, your spiritual maturity. As it expands and grows, and the younger you start, especially if you're a teenager, the younger you start, the better. The more it expands and the more it grows, and there is no sex in it. The more it expands and the more it grows, the less opportunity mortal mind has. Now, it's not that you're not going to deal with people who project fear, so you will experience maybe fear. If you're lucky, you don't. Good for you. But if you do, if you especially live in the city, if you experience fear, some people are adept at projecting fear. Young men go outside, look at a cop, and see what thoughts race through your mind all of a sudden in their presence.